Hey Scorpios, welcome to your reading for Sunday, January 7th. Woohoo, we're in Capricorn season, so maybe check out where that is in your chart. I think the moon's in Scorpio for a couple days, so that's also great. We're just going to pull a couple of energies here, and I'm going to keep an eye on my mic and see if it's still alive throughout this reading, because I used it earlier today. The Sweat Lodge. Cool. So the Sweat Lodge, it's a place for prayer. You might be 54 years old. You might have a birthday on the 9th, the 4th, or the 5th of November if you're a Scorpio. Um, it's a place for prayer. It's a place for connecting with the earth. It's a place for meeting the ancestors. If you don't know what a sweat lodge is, essentially it's like made out of willow and then like animal skins traditionally like cover it, blankets. And then in the center, there's a big hole where we put hot lava rocks and like burn herbs. And then people sit around the fire, or the rocks, and sing and say prayers and sweat and like purify. So it's a purification ritual, and it's, I think, more importantly, a community purification ritual. There's something much different about engaging as a collective. It heightens and amplifies the energy and brings our mental awareness of like, especially ethereal energies, I feel like, to new heights. What else? The spiral. Man, you guys are getting into some stuff. 50. The way that I view this card, the spiral, is as an ability to look essentially through the eye of the needle. All of these little planes here are like, basically picture like a movie reel. They're each different like dimensions or different possibilities of your timeline, and rather than moving through them like light, like through the projections, like you're having a bird's eye view. Speaking the language of birds, that came out in your reading yesterday, speaking the language of birds. So this is also on the Ace of Swords reverse, which came out in the middle of your reading yesterday. I think it was the Ace of Swords from the Light Seers Tarot. The spiral can represent the mind and basically getting outside of the social constructs that keep your mind bound to like the promise of only certain possibilities. Like right now, everything is possible for you, especially because of whatever this purification is that you went through. What else? The Witness reversed, 64. So essentially, like you could be 64 years old, 54 years old, 50. You might be seeing like 4, 5, 6, those numbers in synchronicity. 6 and 4 is 10, closing out a cycle. With the Witness reversed, what I'm seeing, usually the Witness reverse, I would say like go into your sort of objective perspective, or the watcher perspective, the observer. But this is telling me that like you're some sort of powerful um, or like maybe ascended sort of being, like who had, before you came into this incarnation, kind of already gone through the processes to become like one with the observer or the divine, and that like entering into this lifetime here required you to like let go of your observer perspective in order to like build these constructs of like social awareness and social, like, I want to say like rule abiding. There was, in your reading the other day, you're an Atlantean. It was, there was a moment where we were talking about basically Scorpios coming, this Scorpio collective coming to this earth and feeling like alien, and having to sort of figure out like, how do I abide by these rules? I feel so weird here. How do I do this whole human experience thing? And so the Witness reverse is basically like you had to sort of be super uncomfortable in going through this process of coming out of your original like witness ascended master state and going into the 3D, like losing your connection to the divine. So it's possible that you lost your connection to the divine, and I think we all do this to some measure or degree as children, right? We grow into the rules and constructions of our society and sort of release our boundless minds, right? And we kind of need to adhere to some boundaries in order for society to exist, especially healthfully. But this is like, this is telling me you went through construct after construct after construct to the point where it all, like, you found some sort of pattern that gave you like a bird's eye view, and you achieved once again your observer consciousness, or your witness consciousness. So this is you choosing actively to be in a 3D perspective, a person in the now, in order to ground that witness consciousness, in alignment, I'm hearing, with your 3D body, so that the illusion of separation is dissolved. I think this is your sweat lodge. This, maybe this entire lifetime, if you're 64, 50, 54, maybe this entire lifetime you're realizing has been this sweat lodge process of like going through these iterations of ego in order to align the observer into the sort of chaos of the human experience. Like, how does this fit? And like finding it. Cool. That's a really powerful opening. I'm being drawn to use the Lenormand deck to ground these energies. I feel like the Lenormand deck is like grounded. Um, hmm. Ace of Hearts reversed. I think this is a love letter from a man. Yeah, 10 again, underneath 10 here, although there's two different like number combinations for it. So interesting. A love letter. This might be your like observer self or your witness self, like giving a love letter to your human flaws, you know, like just understanding the beauty of the flawed human experience and what it is. Messages, bird's eye view, no way. The birds. I'm sorry, you can't really see. There we go. The birds are underneath this bird's eye view spiral card. That's so cool. So yeah, messages from the divine gave you a bird's eye view of like, this is your choice. And I think that's why the chaos of the human experience is so beautiful. Is like, you can be this ascended being or whatever and come into a human body and then just get caught up in the details and like forget the awesomeness of like the observer mentality. You can just get caught up in all, like, it could go on forever. And so I think there's something beautiful and also a bit horrifying about that. The rats, the sweat lodges, the rats, yeah. So just cleansing and cleaning out, as we know, like messes and like a dirty kitchen, for instance, will attract mice or rats or rodents. Not that those are bad creatures or anything like that. I'm not ascribing that meaning to them. Only that um, in this deck, the rats can mean like people that have talked about you or things being said about you, or a rat, like literally somebody's like spying on you or tattling on you or something. So it's like you've gone through the process of sort of clearing out the rats. I'm also hearing the H.P. Lovecraft poem, The Rats in the Walls. This guy like loses his mind in one of the stories by H.P. Lovecraft called Rats in the Walls. He's just losing his mind. He's hearing rats on the walls and he just loses it. And that was written by a guy who was a morphine addict, I think H.P. Lovecraft was. So he might have been at Sweat Lodge kind of literally going through like a physical purification process as well. Definitely some of my Scorpios who show up here are in some form of like recovery from addiction, and I'm super glad and proud for you all that that is occurring, because that's not easy. So keep at it, one day at a time, right? minute by minute if we have to. This is called Midnight Magic. This is another mushroom deck, and I do not have the book for it, but I just felt drawn to sort of bring it out. So let's see, we'll just intuit some messages. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Page of Pentacles, the hedgehog mushroom, and the blob. What? This one's called the blob. I really like the artwork on these cards. And then we have the hedgehog mushroom for the Page of Pentacles. It looks like it's bioluminescent. It's green. That's really cool. And I think hedgehog mushrooms can be edible, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe these mean something to you. I'll have to get the book, but I think that hedgehog mushrooms are edible. And then as far as the blob goes, like, I just love that it's called the blob. Maybe this bird's eye view kind of overwhelmed you with the possibilities of your future, and like you weren't sure exactly what path to take or like where to put your efforts. And the Page of Pentacles with the hedgehog mushroom is like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It's like you, with this man, right, giving the love letter from your higher self to your 3D self with the Page of Pentacles and starting on that journey. So that's quite lovely. Ooh, the Tower with the Sweat Lodge and the rats. Yellow netted stinkhorn. Check this one out. So that's your energy, Scorpios, the Tower. Sorry. Just checking on him. Cool. So somebody could have said something about you that busted down your tower. This brought it crumbling down. You could have been hearing things with the rats in the wall. You could have been at the height of some sort of like intoxication that brought you into a space of like being paranoid, and you've done the clearing out for this. This was part of your clearing out because your journey is about aligning this observer consciousness with your 3D reality. And not everybody chooses to do that, you know? A lot of people cycle through, but like trying to walk in both worlds at the same time is not for the faint of heart. You gained the messages necessary to see through the eye of the needle, and now you're basically like, maybe you were in a spot of like waiting to choose your work, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then you kind of waited for spirit to give you the answers. So I think we should clarify with the tarot. Actually, I'm going to use the Thoth tarot. This is a different lineup today, different lineup of energies. Oh, okay. The Hierophant reverse, the Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Knight of Discs reversed, and the Six of Cups, pleasure reversed. So your tower might have been a divorce. It might have been something about the established norm that you found oppressive. I'm seeing this like person inside the pentagram here, sort of aligned with this Hanged Man. You may have had something that you felt was Ten of Cups, but was like a little too over saturated or like over indulgent. so that you couldn't really keep it grounded. It kept you stuck. Like you couldn't move forward or find any purchase in order to like make forward motion, even slow forward motion. It was like you were actually like moving backwards, if anything. Staying stuck in past memories, Sun and Scorpio, reverse. So like with Taurus and the Hierophant. So like maybe attached to some heaviness in the opposite of your astrology somehow, or just stuck in the past. This is literally stuck in the past. The Hanged Man, the Knight of Discs, pleasure, but it's stuck in the past according to an established norm of what satiety is. And this is also, or could also mean that you finally um, discovered that this established norm like isn't your 10 of cups, or rather that what your 10 of cups, where your 10 of cups resides, is outside of the established norm, and you may be having some trouble moving on from that notion of like giving up, say, like the house with the white picket fence or something. um Maybe you want a van down by the river, like Chris Farley. I want to say maybe you enjoyed Chris Farley's comedy. Certainly, I certainly did. Oh, Ten of Pentacles, awesome. So like no matter what you're working on right now, or wherever you choose to put your work, you're focused on your Ten of Pentacles. And while this isn't in your outcome position, I have this very good feeling that because this Eight of Pentacles is reversed, it's like kind of no matter what you do, it'll come to fruition. You just have to do it. Like you just have to do the thing. Um, how can Scorpio decide what this Eight of Pentacles is? Like how can Scorpio decide where to put their pentacles? Success reversed. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Look at your failures. Look at what your failures have taught you. Look at what this tower brought. Like, again, you may have discovered that you were trying to find happiness in some sort of idea of what an established, normal, happy life is, only to find, like, actually, I might want something different instead. And that is an example of how to like look at your failures and alchemize them. This is you engaging in alchemy as a practice. And the tower is like the start of the alchemical process, right? You alchemize a new tower, almost like Encanto. I love that movie, Encanto, the Disney movie, just because her power, she doesn't have a power, right? The main character doesn't have a power in that movie, and then all of her family, they all have all these amazing powers, but deep down they have these insecurities about just being human, because being human is messy and hard and difficult, and the house that's alive that gave them their powers like falls apart, crumbles to pieces, and then the main character who doesn't have any powers ends up like having this power of community and bringing people together like around um, the rebuilding of this house. It's transmutation. It's like her symbol is a yellow butterfly. It's just really awesome. So you might be seeing butterflies that's coming through, or birds might have significant messages for you. What's the outcome for Scorpios? Please, Spirit. The Page of Swords reverse. Ooh, that's nice. Disconnecting from any ego projections or identities that don't serve you. Being able to wield, I was going to say wield the power of your physical form from this like objective standpoint, but it's like almost reversed. It's almost like if you are involved in the spiritual community, sometimes people look at um, spirituality as like my higher self tells me what to do, right? And that means that I'm on the right path and la la la. But your body also is like a channel, it's like a ground for your higher self, right? And your body can tell your higher self, like, hey, this isn't working in this world. We need to like readjust. So there's a communication there. And maybe something happened with your Eight of Pentacles reversed or the Sweat Lodge, like an awakening that undid your work, right? Undid what it was you were working on before, undid your ability to work. Maybe somebody suffered an injury, heaven forbid. If so, like, my heart goes out to you. It's hard to heal from an injury that prevents you from being able to work. I totally understand what that does to a person's ego. But this was brought to you so that you could rebuild and rebuild from a place of choice in communication with your higher self, and also with your higher self respecting the sovereignty of your 3D self, your body, your mind, your heart, space, like your human messy experience. And there's something very necessary about aligning with nature in this process, just to regulate the hormones in our body. But I'm just a tarot reader, so that's just in my experience. 2121 on the timer. As we say that, virtue, 3 of Wands, Sun in Aries. So maybe by Aries season, you'll be seeing the results of this alignment I'm hearing. You'll be able to sort of be present in the moment, and things will sort of just happen for you. And you will have this faith that things are happening for you all the time. And it comes from the spiritual work that you've done. And it also comes from understanding that your higher self respects your physical self, and isn't going to push you past those boundaries. I'm getting the sense here that you, this group of Scorpios has been battling in the ethers for a long time, or like in spiritual warfare for a long time, and that your higher self like wasn't always able to look out for your physical self, because it was in battle. Interesting. Queen of Swords coming out. I feel like that's confirmation. Like, it's not a very nice message, but it was like one that needed to be heard. Also, the Queen of Swords, she cuts through illusion. On this card, she's holding the head of a man in one hand and the sword in the other. So she's disconnected from overthinking. The spiral can indicate overthinking. She's disconnected from the monkey mind. Essentially, she's like exercised the monkey mind, and her mind is aligned with her higher self, with the observer mentality. So she has total faith in this, and it sort of counteracts a lot of the necessity of those like spiritual affirmations, or like sort of engaging in self-delusion in order to build the rituals that bring about the healthy timeline. It's almost like you're on that timeline, and so there's a sense of peace and quiet and alignment and just moving forward, um or even just like, almost I'm hearing just standing still and like letting things come to you, like you're in some sort of vector space. um the Emperor reverse, yeah. Aries reversed, and then we had virtue, Aries. So you may have been dealing with an oppressive, controlling. This could be a Emperor, like a divine masculine, male or female, doesn't matter. With the bee on his tunic, I don't always notice these details, but the bee is standing out on his tunic, and the bee can represent like busyness, right? Oh, like also community, but like this Emperor reversed is indicating like tyranny over a community in order to like get this community to do the bidding of this Emperor. Um, so this is undoing like communal tyranny. Somehow you could have been exposed to that just growing up, like some sort of narcissistic household deal. You could also have like a boss with a work card here in the tower that was controlling or overbearing, and you were just like, off with his head. I stand in my virtue, I stand in my spirit. um Ooh, and the priestess, I like this combination a lot. So I don't always see the emperor as a bad thing, but the emperor reverse has come up a lot in your readings lately. And part of it is also, I think, the time of year. I saw a bee die on my steps yesterday. It was like, I couldn't tell if it was dead yet or not. And I've actually found a couple of like dead bees in the last like week, just because it's that season. I guess that the queen bees will overwinter with the eggs, and then all of the males will die. And with the high priestess here, I'm thinking of Persephone, because in the traditional tarot, um, the high priestess is sitting in front of a veil with the pomegranates on it, and that's the fruit that Persephone ate when she went to the underworld. Persephone was stolen by Hades. In some other traditions, she was taken by Hades, and Hades was like, actually just really nice to her and made her the queen of the underworld and made her his equal, and she was treated really well. Anyway, Persephone's mom was like really upset, and um, she was able to return to Earth for like 3 months out of the year, which is why we have summer. But when she goes back to the underworld, the seasons change and get cold, and the harvest dies, because Persephone's mom like controls the weather. So this is basically like, it just started to snow today, and this is in my area anyways, this is telling me that the season for this overworking busyness, like go go go, whatever you were working on, is sort of giving way to like, I wouldn't say the scarcity of winter, but more like she's raking in a bunch of material forms from like the universal net through manifestation, through her vision, and again through this like perception of being in total alignment and total faith. She doesn't even have her bow and arrow drawn, although it's in her lap. She's just bringing in her fishing net, right? So it's like, as the winter comes in, as this season of sort of mourning the abundance of summer and the harvest passes, you have other materials. I'm hearing you have other things to work with. um, Cast your net for the manifestations of the future, and then especially through Aries season, watch them unfold. I'm also, just the net here is really calling me to the idea of fishing. I like to watch the show called Alone, or at least I used to watch it a lot. And these people are out in the wilderness like alone, and it eventually becomes winter, and one of the things they rely on is fishing. So fishing in the winter, like ice fishing or fishing just in the rivers in the winter, is one of the ways to like procure food during like times of scarcity. um and it also involves drawing things out from the subconscious, drawing things out from the deep. It's like a metaphor for that, right? So this is a time to reflect on what your subconscious holds, what the possibilities hold, and also to exercise your new gifts of like walking in this. I'm hearing like a level up, like a major alignment of like having your spirit really love your human form, which is maybe something you have not experienced until now. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up and then maybe draw one animal message. And then if you like this reading, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and I really am grateful to all of you who have already. If you want to enter to win a free reading on 111, just put free reading in the comments, and I will announce the winner in a separate post. You will have to either email me or message me in my Etsy, where you can also book a personal reading if you would like to. So let's get another one of these lovely animal cards. I'm really feeling these animal cards. Oh, the Magician. I just opened it to the Magician. I think we'll take that one and maybe one more because the Magician's the raccoon. Look at how cute it is. Oh, I love raccoons. They're adorable. I used to live like in this neighborhood where there was this massively fat raccoon, like so huge. And it would wake me up at night because the bushes would rustle outside when it walked through. I'll never forget that raccoon. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen. 30:35 on the timer. All right, the Magician in your energies. The Magician can also be a bit of a trickster. So you have all the tools and the ritual necessary. It's like you're starting the wheel over again. You've been through your entire like tarot journey, and here you are, ready to start anew with new tools for your new timeline with a new mask. The sun, what? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. So, pumas are like my favorite thing. They're my favorite animal. They are incredible. They're so adaptable. They can jump the length of a semi truck without any previous momentum. They stalk their prey like super quietly. Um, the females like raise their young on their own. They have like a I'm totally nerding out here. They have a hunting range of 120 square miles and they're primarily solitary. So you might find that your happiness is like being primarily solitary and this is not what your 10 of cups traditionally looks like. That's something coming through. I love I love the puma. It's my favorite. We're drawing three and the two of wands, lions. So big cats or cats might mean something to you. Um, big feminine slash masculine energy. The two of wands means making a decision to move forward into your happiness with the sun above it. Oh my goodness. I got really excited seeing that there. That is awesome. That is not what I expected. I haven't seen the sun card in this deck yet, and I didn't expect it to be a cougar. I was so stoked. Excuse me. A cougar. That's funny. That might mean something to you. I'll just let you take it from there. When it came time to create the illustration for the energy of the magician, the raccoon came forward very strongly, and I knew this was the creature who embodies the traits of the magician. The raccoon moves through the night swiftly and often undetected, but passive animals they are not. Raccoons are resourceful hunters who understand how to use their resources to their fullest. Whether it is climbing a tree for an egg in a nest or unlatching a neighbor's chicken coop, they will act with passion and determination to get what they desire. The magician energy is one that requires action, it requires work. Like casting a spell, preparation and commitment are required. When the magician appears, you are asked to take control of the situation, to make clear and conscious decisions that will open the door for the right opportunity that will, in turn, yield the results you desire. When you pull this card, take a moment to draw in its energy. I find its electricity travels through my hand and into my soul. It is in this moment of connection that you too will find a refreshed sense of enthusiasm, of passion, and as a result, you will feel as though you hold the power of the world in your hands. Raccoon, nimble, focused, clever, dexterity, determination, and passion. Oh, that's beautiful. I love how it's all curious with its little hand. Like, look at this. I love animals. They're so cool. Um, 19, the sun. When the sun appears in a reading, be prepared to be seen. Oh, the new moon in Leo is coming, or full moon in Leo is coming up at the end of this month. Sorry. That also is about being seen. For your talents to be recognized and for your efforts to be acknowledged. You will feel a warm energy take over as those around you express admiration and support. Excuse me. The mighty sun also helps you see something that will benefit your situation. Something new that would typically be overlooked will shine and stand out so that you don't miss it. When you bask in the sun's light, you will feel bold and confident. You will have an urge to stand up to be seen. You are asked to trust that your abilities and talents will open the door to new opportunities. However, be aware that the sun shines bright, and if you are operating with less than noble intentions, those too will be in your light. Mountain lions and cougars rather, walk this planet with a knowing that they are sacred and command the attention of all who pass in their presence. This is the energy of the outcome cards that we were pulling. It's just you walk with like this knowing, like things are unfolding for me, and it's like you don't have to say it. You don't have those affirmations in your mind because you have so much faith. You literally know. It's not even like I hope it'll happen, or I have faith in you and it's like, no, this is happening. I'm in this experience. Like, I, you're either there or you're not. You know what I mean? They possess no need to tell the world of their greatness. They only need to stare at you from a tree limb to see it in your face. Call upon the authentic and powerful energy of the mountain lion when you need the added boost of confidence, and you too will feel as though you are the ruler of the forest. Authentic, strength, confidence, generous. Beautiful. All right, and then the Two of Wands. The story I created in my mind for the Two of Wands was one of a lioness who was tired of her mate swooping in at the last minute after she did all the hard work of taking down dinner and wanted the rewards for herself. While the male lion lounged around the plain, the lioness concocted a plan that, if successful, would not only gain a reputation of a fierce leader, she would also enjoy the lion's share of the kill. The Two of Wands indicates that it is time to take a bold move or risk that you may have shied away from in the past. When you approach a situation with confidence, sharing your vision for the future as a pioneer will support you. This is not a time to fall back on the tried and true or play it safe. Yeah, that Hierophant reverse energy. No, this is a time to be original and step forward to claim your personal power. Resist the urge to second guess your decision. If you spent time considering all angles, consulted with those around you who may feel the impact, and weighed in all the information available to you, let it go and be final. If you are concerned about the outcome and can see the possibility of regret in the future, there is also no shame in holding off on making a decision. Just do so with clarity and conviction. When you need the confidence to make a decision, especially one that puts you outside the status quo, call upon the lion's nurturing feminine energy for protection. Let this regal and graceful animal guide you into a state of confidence as you break free from the pack. Passion, command, authority, royalty, power, and prestige. So these big jungle cats are also speaking to me about the high priestess, feminine power. Your divine feminine is awakening, and it could just be basically like your ability to receive the blessings of spirit, and also your spirit's ability to receive the blessings of the human world. um it could very well be that you were in a relationship without equal give and take or something like that, according to the story of this Two of Wands. And like things are coming to light, or light is being shed as you um kind of learn to receive on like how to get the lion's share or manifest. I actually like 3827. Okay, I actually am feeling like maybe one more, like, just to clarify this Two of Wands. The Queen of Swords reversed. That's interesting. It's this like white owl, super pretty. So the white owl, I think is Athena. It's like she's associated with the goddess of, I think it's Athena, wisdom. If you know, go ahead and let me know in the comments there. Protection, authority, awareness, guidance. Yeah, wisdom. Lean on this energy when you need to engage with others who may be less than honest, as you will swiftly size up their game so that you are the winner. The energy center for the owl is the crown. Hold your head high and know that you are being guided by an intelligent and intuitive power animal. Call on the owl's wisdom to help you see your situation from a different angle and from a distance that offers you a clear look at the entire landscape, not just a small portion. This is so interesting. So there's this idea, right, that the bird's eye view is up above, but it's almost like with spirit receiving the guidance of your human needs. it's almost like you feel like this is inverted or upside down, which is I think why your outcome cards were all upside down. Because there's again this whole notion that our spirit's supposed to be telling us what to do, and maybe your spirit was a little bit of a, we had the emperor reversed, like a tyrant, or your spirituality became like tyrannical for your physical like self. And so now it's like your human self is like, all right, I'm ruling this, let's go. And your spirit's like, okay, I'm freaking tired, like take the reins, human body. And it's almost like this is how it was meant to be, and I don't know why it was inverted in the first place. That's weird. Why was it inverted in the first place? I'm actually getting drawn. I was going to stop this reading before an hour, but here we go. Why was this energy inverted? Oh. Ten of Wands, Page of Pentacles reversed. The Ten of Wands is giving your burdens over to spirit, and the Page of Pentacles reversed is like not learning the lesson. Oh, that's spiritual gaslighting. That's like not to you necessarily, like not that you were doing that, but maybe whoever taught you spirituality um exemplified this, or maybe this was like, when you initially begin to engage in, say you are an alchemist, or say you use tarot, or you, whatever it is, like it doesn't matter. I think we all sort of turn to um religious or spiritual outlets initially for like guidance, right? And eventually that guidance, if we don't sort of do the work, like you've done the work, if we don't sort of do the, like according to your previous cards, sorry, if we don't do the work, it becomes like a way to bypass doing the work, and it becomes gaslighting, spiritual gaslighting. So it's like, by finally realizing that handing all your burdens over to spirit all the time is sort of not allowing you to learn the lesson, you take the lesson into your own hands. And the lesson is your spirit serves your physical form, and your spirit is happy to serve your physical form. And maybe you've just never been open to receive this, which is why you have this like um goddess of wisdom, Athena, here with these like lionesses, right? Divine feminine, you're in your receptive. You had the emperor verse with the high priestess, you're in your receptive energy. Your spirit is here to serve. It's here to serve you, and you just know that because it didn't work the other way around anymore, because you did that. And it's not to say that it won't go there again, right? Everything moves in these cycles, but this is where you're at now, and it's a really beautiful energy. Anyway, maybe look back on this reading by like Aries season and let me know how this is working out for you. I think we're gonna call it there. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe if you like this reading. You can book a personal with me again on Etsy and enter to win a free reading on 111. There's also Patreon. I always forget Patreon, but you can join there if you want. It's $5.55 a month, and I appreciate all of you who are here. I really love doing these readings for you. So, all right, have a good Sunday.